Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News at 6.
Lexington police say a woman was injured and vehicles were sprayed with bullets when a gunman opened fire at a party.
A two-day search for a missing kayaker in Floyd County comes to an end.
I had called him my little Superman because he was my hero.
A family hit by tragedy is getting some help from their Corbin church. WKYT News at 6 starts now. 4 shootings in less than 48 hours. Good evening, I'm Kristen Kennedy. Police in Lexington have been very busy. Early this morning, they say gunfire erupted at a college party on Georgetown Road, injuring a Bluegrass Community and Technical College student and damaging 4 cars. A witness told WKYT's Mark Barber in our top story at 6, everyone ducked for cover.
All of a sudden, the gun start happening, and so we just ducked and hoped for the best.
Darnell Dennis says when the gunfire stopped, he realized a bullet hit his friend's arm and another bullet grazed her head. Police say 2 armed men fired 15 times, hitting 4 vehicles, including this SUV. It's now missing a window and its windshield is scarred with bullet holes.
I am livid. I'm a single parent and then let my daughter use my car to come out here and have a good time, and then this is what happens to innocent people.
We're told hundreds of college students were partying at the Genesis Center on Georgetown Road around 3 o'clock this morning when the gunman opened fire.
I'm scared for myself and my family. Instead of it being the other direction, it could have been my direction, and my bedroom window is right there.
Nobody knows anything. They just start shooting. All we know is that these guys obviously were not, understanding each other's point of view, and they had to use guns to solve it.
Dennis says doctors told his friend she will have to get staples in her head. He thinks it will be quite a long time before they recover from the shooting.
A lot of fear in hearing the gunshots, a lot of fear in, thinking that you're going to get shot. This is your last time on earth. So it's a normal college party that anybody is invited to, and the wrong people came.
In Lexington, Mark Barber, WKYT.
Police tell us the description of the shooters right now is very limited. A Lexington woman is facing charges tonight after police say she rear-ended someone while driving drunk. Around 1 this afternoon at the intersection of Manowar and Rapid Run Drive, police say 26-year-old Carissa McLaughlin drove over the center median and continued driving on the wrong side of the road, then rear-ended another driver when she tried getting back into the correct lane. Crews took McLaughlin to UK hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. She is charged with DUI, driving on a suspended license, and no insurance. A 2-day search for a missing kayaker in Floyd County ended this afternoon. Around 1 today, rescue crews tell us they recovered the body of Miller Floyd. Police say Floyd went missing yesterday while on a kayak trip. At the time, search crews were only able to find his kayak and his cigarettes. K-9 units joined in the 2-day search. Rescue crews encourage people to be cautious when exploring outdoor areas.
Making sure that you're aware of your surroundings and that you know what you are, comfortable doing.
An official cause of death will be determined after the coroner performs an autopsy. A Whitley County man is behind bars tonight after Laurel County deputies say he drove drunk with his son in the car. Deputies found Philip Sema driving under the influence yesterday with his 6-year-old son in the car with him. He is charged with operating a motor vehicle under the influence, driving on DUI, driving on a suspended license, and endangering the welfare of a minor. Friday's fire at a Chicago air traffic control center is still causing headaches for travelers across the country, including here at the Bluegrass Airport. We're seeing some flight cancellations out there today for travelers heading into and leaving the Windy City. The disruption started Friday morning when police say an employee set a fire at an air traffic control center. First responders found him in the control center's basement attempting to take his own life. Police say the man, Brian Howard, survived and went to an area hospital for treatment. He's charged with 1 count of destruction of aircraft or aircraft facilities. The FAA says flights to and from the Windy City are starting to slowly resume. We've had plenty of sunshine and great mild temperatures this weekend, but it looks like we could get some showers tonight. Meteorologist Jim Caldwell's tracking those chances for families in central Kentucky. Jim?
Looks like maybe a few out there for the most part, but generally just a good mix of sun and clouds out there for us out there at the moment. We look at some of those temperatures first, and you're going to find low 70s, mid 70s, upper 70s. We're all over the place as far as the 70s are concerned, and even Out at the airport, at least, coming in at 80 degrees. Now, again, very nice day anywhere you look, even with those showers around down to our south. Maybe a sprinkle or two there in Knox County, and a little bit more activity showing up in McCreary County, but generally a very clean sweep across central Kentucky. And again, just a little bit of that activity down to our south. A lot more cloud cover around out there today as compared to yesterday. We had some more decorative cloud cover out there. Today, it was a little thick from time to time. Started out that way, got a little mix of sunshine in, and then, of course, we've got more clouds out there at the moment. Small rain chances for the next couple of days. We're talking about this evening and going into your Monday. Very small stuff. Nice generally all the way through midweek, and that all happens before temps come crashing down, and we are talking about a significant drop. I'll track all of this coming up for you here in just a few minutes.
Thank you, Jim. For several weeks, people across Corbin prayed for a newborn's health. They rallied around little Ozzy and his family, and now the congregation is building a playground bearing his name. Sean Moody has the story.
Inside New Hope Ministries Church in Corbin, Kelly and Joey Falkowski prayed for a miracle.
We weren't even supposed to be able to have kids without some major interventions.
And sure enough, they got one. Their son Ozzy was born in February, but there was a problem.
We were hit with the bombshell of him having congenital heart disease. When Ozzy was 8 days old, he went into complete heart failure.
Ozzy was airlifted to Kosair Children's Hospital. He'd stay there for more than 100 days.
During each surgery, they would tell us he may not make it through, but every time he pulled through, I had called him my little Superman because he was my hero.
But as mighty as little Ozzy was, he couldn't keep up that battle forever. In June, he lost his fight.
To walk in our house every day and walk by his bedroom and it be empty and his car seat empty, it's heartbreaking.
When the little baby that everyone was pulling for died, New Hope Ministries Pastor Mike Addison said he knew that wasn't going to be the end of Ozzy's story.
It's a story of inspiration. It's a story of hope.
While Ozzy was fighting to survive in that hospital room, Addison said he was also winning hearts and minds back in Corbin.
And I don't think anyone has inspired us this year like baby Ozzy has.
So last week, he announced plans to memorialize Ozzy right here at the church, a playground in his honor right behind the building.
And anybody that sees this playground, anybody that plays on it, that's a part of it, they're going to remember what Ozzy represented.
Addison expects Ozzy's play place will cost about $25,000, and he hopes to raise that money over the next several weeks. Kelly and Joey look forward to the day when they can see children on a playground, keeping a part of their son alive.
We are so blessed. We're heartbroken, but we are so incredibly blessed.
In Corbin, Sean Moody, WKYT.
The Children's Heart Foundation says congenital heart disorders are the #1 birth defect in the United States. If you'd like to donate to Ozzy's Play Place, you'll find a link in the story on our website, WKYT.com. Ending hunger was the goal for dozens who showed up to the Hunger Walk in Lexington this afternoon. Walkers took a 3-mile stroll through the historic East End of Lexington. Some of the money raised today will support the global hunger-fighting efforts of the Church World Service. 25% of the funds will go to God's Pantry Food Bank. Still to come on WKYT, we'll take you to the Burgoo Festival for a look at a delicious Kentucky favorite.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with meteorologist Jim Caldwell and First Alert Defender.
A lot of cloud cover out there today, keeping temperatures down, believe it or not. If we had some of the cloud cover out there, we probably could have gotten into the low 80s in many cases out there. Right now, as we look across Kentucky at some of the sky cams, you'll see most of us in the 70s out at the airport at 80 degrees in Lexington. You got 79, though, in Frankfort, so plenty of cloud cover all throughout the entire area. As a matter of fact, a little bit thicker for the folks out in eastern Kentucky this evening. Defender tracking some moisture to our north across southern parts of Indiana and down to our south. A few showers popped up through parts of Knox County, out toward Clay County, and into McCreary County as well. A little more action off into Tennessee. But you see very light rain, maybe a sprinkle or two at best out of what we're tracking down there. The rest of us just dealing with all of that cloud cover. And you can see those bright whites, see all of that cloud cover out east? That's some thicker clouds, a lot more moisture, so it keeps the sun out, so temperatures are down just a little bit more. Low 70s have actually been showing up out there for those folks. And you can even see that here with our hour-by-hour forecast. Thicker clouds there. So we work our way through the rest of the evening into the overnight. Maybe a shower or two in the early morning hours trying to show up, at least in northern parts of Kentucky, maybe into central Kentucky, but better chances will arrive during the afternoon and evening, and especially to our east. That's going to be the primary zone. We talked about that yesterday, being the primary zone to see some showers. Well, again today, same thing. The warm air still hanging out with us through the day on Monday, even with the clouds around and the showers. A front will press in from the north, but this one never makes it all the way into Kentucky. There's another that's going to be attached to it, though, well off to our west. We're looking at Tuesday here around 5 o'clock. That front means business. That's going to change things up for us quite a bit as we go through the next several days. Watch what happens. You'll see it start to really skate across the country, rolling through Missouri into Kentucky. By late Thursday, we could start seeing some showers and thunderstorms from this system. But the main thing will be what's coming in behind it. A big-time blast of cooler air is right there behind it. We're at 78 here in Lexington tomorrow, around 78 in Harrodsburg, Frankfort around 78. We're mainly dry. Basically means a stray shower cannot be completely taken out of the equation, so we'll at least watch for that, especially in eastern Kentucky. There's a 7-day forecast. A few showers possible. We're hovering right around 80 degrees the next few days, and you see what happens once that front really gets here and sinks its teeth into the region. We are down into the 60s, low 40s, maybe a night or two, maybe even some 30s try to get in here. Some chilly stuff after that front rolls across Kentucky.
It's been feeling pretty warm this weekend.
It's felt nice out there, so this is going to be a shock to your system. You better believe it.
It is. Thank you, Jim.
Okay.
Today, Anderson County families are celebrating what makes one of their towns so famous. We sent WKYT's Mike Linden to Lawrenceburg, the burgoo capital of the world, to get a taste of the Kentucky favorite.
Every year at the end of September, the city of Lawrenceburg, Kentucky comes together to celebrate burgoo in the burgoo capital of the world.
Burgoo is a stew made with vegetables and meat, similar to a chili. To celebrate the dish, the city of Lawrenceburg shuts down Main Street during the last weekend in September each year.
It's like a thick stew. They made it in pioneer times, and then they would just put whatever they had, I think, at the house, in it to make a nice stew, and they would all gather and enjoy just the family.
Each year, a burgoo cook-off is held to find the best burgoo in Anderson County. For the past 4 years, Jesse Samford has taken home the gold. So what's his secret?
I got 17 different spices in it, and I've been making this since 1989, and I've never tasted. I don't never taste it when I cook it. I can smell of it, but I never taste it.
The festival is in its 21st year, and for some, it's an annual tradition to attend.
People get out and do stuff, and it brings everybody together, and there's just a bunch of stuff.
Even though it's a year away, organizers say once this year's festival is over, they'll start to plan for next year, the 22nd annual Anderson County Burgoo Festival. In Lawrenceburg, Mike Linden, WKYT.
Hungry just looking at it. If you want to enter the burgoo cook-off next year or just get more information on the festival, you can visit our website, WKYT.com. Lexington Church celebrated its 225th birthday today. Worshippers came out to the First United Methodist Church to celebrate the major milestone. The church was one of the first Methodist churches in the United States.
What distinguishes us over the centuries is the churches that we have started and the people who have been called into ministry out of our pews. We are the mother church for over 8 other Methodist churches. 5 of our ministers have gone on to be elected as bishops in the Methodist Church.
Mayor Jim Gray attended the service and honored the church as well today. Lee K's in next with sports. The Wildcats got a much-needed win Saturday over Vandy.
They did. Mark Stoops can now check one streak off that list as he and the Wildcats look to change the game. And we'll check in with several former Wildcats playing on Sunday. We'll have those highlights from you from week 5 in the NFL. That's next in sports. 2 years, 10 months, and 1 day, or 1,036 days since a wide receiver playing quarterback led Kentucky to an SEC win. That drought came to an end on Saturday with a win over Vanderbilt.
The 17-game SEC losing streak is officially over as they beat Vanderbilt 17-7.
The streak is over.
It feels great. It feels great.
17 straight losses to SEC opponents, dating back more than 2 seasons.
It does feel that long, and I'm just happy to break the streak, and we got to continue to improve every week.
Mark Stoops has only been a small part of that streak, but even he is glad to have it over.
Again, I've only been here one year and 1 game. Okay, so that 1 year was long, and so let's not talk about that anymore. All right, I'm proud of the group. I am proud for the victory, and really for the fans.
Stoops called the 10-point win over Vandy a thing of beauty for a defensive guy. While Patrick Tolles and the offense struggled to find rhythm in the second half, the defense came up big with 3 second-half interceptions, equaling the Wildcats' total of all last season.
When somebody can't perform or somebody has trouble performing, other people got to step up. And that's what people did. The defense, they didn't give up a touchdown all day. The only touchdown we scored was on me.
That was a great defensive effort on every side of the ball. We've been, like they say, bend but don't break. They've got a couple big plays on us, but then we'll answer right back.
The bad boy defense put pressure on the doors all day, allowing just 139 yards of total offense, the least by a UK SEC opponent since 1996.
I just like the way they've been preparing, the way they've been practicing, and you have to play on edge defensively or you'll get embarrassed.
And now with 3 wins under their belt, already 1 more than the previous 2 seasons, the Wildcats aren't satisfied as the conference schedule only gets tougher.
You don't really count down, you really just count. We're trying to count up. We're not satisfied with 6. We want to win as many games as we can, and we think we can. We're halfway there, but we got 8 games left, so we got a long way to go.
Next up, Kentucky welcomes the old ball coach in South Carolina into Commonwealth next weekend. The game will be played under the lights at Commonwealth. Kickoff set for 7:30 on the SEC network. Week 4 in the NFL, and the Bengals are one of 6 teams enjoying a bye week. Cincinnati, the only team in the AFC unbeaten. Meanwhile, neighbors to the north and to the south meeting up in Indy. The Colts hosting the Titans in the first. Andrew Luck hooks up with Dwayne Allen. That's a 7-yard touchdown. Colts lead 14-0. Just before the half. The Colts on the move, but Luck is unlucky and intercepted by former Wildcat Wesley Woodyard. He led the Titans with 9 tackles in the game, but the Indy offense was too much. Luck later in the third quarter finds Reggie Wayne, and the old man still got it. 119 yards for Wayne, just in case you had him in your fantasy lineup, and the Colts pick up the 41-17 win. Randall Cobb and the Green Bay Packers visiting the Bears, and it was a big day for the former Wildcat. Just before the half, with the Packers down by a field goal, Aaron Rodgers finds Cobb for the 22-yard touchdown, gives Green Bay the lead heading into the locker room. Move to the fourth. Packers on top 31-17, and it's that same combination of Rodgers to Cobb. Randall Cobb finishes with 7 catches for 113 yards and 2 touchdowns in the Packers' 38-17 win over Chicago. Final day of the Ryder Cup, and the Americans needing a miracle. 8th hole, Matt Kuchar 2 up over Thomas Bjorn, and second shot from the fairway. 2 big hops, and it rolls in for the eagle. Kuchar 3 up on the match. Ricky Fowler down by 5 to Rory McIlroy. Needs this putt to extend the match, and he just misses, and McIlroy picks up the first point of the day for Europe. 18th hole, Henrik Stenson and Patrick Reed all square. Stenson misses for birdie, and Ryder Cup rookie Reed picks up the first point of the day for USA. 16th here, Martin Keimer 3 up over Bubba Watson. Keimer chipping from the rough for the win. If it goes, match over, and leaves the European team needing only 1 point to retain the cup. 15th hole, this is Jamie Donaldson 4 up over Keegan Bradley, taking his second shot from the fairway, and it's a great one to within a foot of the cup. Bradley concedes the putt, and Europe gets the point that they needed to retain the Ryder Cup. And the Reds win the final game of the season. Johnny Cueto picks up his 20th win of the year. That'll do it for sports. We'll be right back.